pack leaders. So today we're going to be doing a profits update. It's kind of interesting this past couple of days. It's been quite so volatile, and we normally trade sideways at our strength. And I was testing on a small one, and then decided to just throw on the big one, and didn't do so well. So let this be a lesson to make sure you test on a small account, even though it was a great idea. It shouldn't be a pretty expensive idea. So here it is. There it is. These are our big losses here. Ouch, right? It was just boom, boom, boom as it was climbing. I think we got stopped out a few times. These are the couple small ones, and we're like, all right, that's fine, whatever. And then, after a few days, we're like, you know what? Let's just try. Let's just jump in. So, we jumped in, got these two ones. Like, oh man, that sucked. So I returned the setting back. Okay, now we're just kind of go back, and when the setting's right, it'll jump back in, and this is gonna take a couple of trades to really gain back what we need. So right now, as long as it's volatile, we're just gonna sit out. I'm gonna go from there. So this is our ETH one. ETH's doing all right. It's a little better, even though I had a couple of bad ones when it was pumping up. And this one, the setting I did not mess with. Okay, so I didn't mess with it yet. So I was saved. There's one time it did get stopped out, and I was like, oh man. So here, these are the ones where when that day when it started to pump up from like 190 to 2 something, right? 210, 220, and I was like, dude, it kept shorting it. And then I finally was like, you know what? I'm done. We're just gonna long it from now on, right? So I don't think I've touched it since, and I think I am allowing it to short. Am I allowing? Yeah, I'm allowing it to short now. So there's some good days here, and it's trying to regain what I had lost previously. So based on this and maybe another couple big ones here, that's probably about 1 ETH there, another ETH there, right there. Add up to maybe 1.5 to 2 ETH. So we're regaining it. Total today 164. And we kind of go from there. So it kind of sucked a little bit, but this is one where I just kind of stayed in the safe zone, didn't test my settings on here, and I think I would have lost just as much if I threw that good idea into this one. So far it's been a pretty good streak for ETH. Made sure that we stay out when it trends up right away, and we made an adjustment to this so that we don't short tops and long bottoms anymore. It just seems like it's great. You make a little extra when it's sideways. But when we don't know when it's gonna actually start pumping, right? And when it does, this is where it starts to rack up those losses back to back. And this is let me show that day when that happened, which is right over here, right? It goes up 2 hours. I think we're gonna go sideways now. Boom, just kidding. Boom, just kidding. Boom. Or maybe this first, second, third, and then I was like, there's probably one more coming. I will probably walk up around here. It's like, I'm done. Let's just cut it out, and then we probably gain it back, some of it back, somewhere along here. When it went sideways, maybe that little section here between here and there, maybe a little bit between here and here, within the safety zone. Okay. Now this one here, I think I'm testing. See how we're like right in the center line here. That should be okay for now, even though we're shorting this. It should probably wick back down. We'll see. This one overall is doing okay. Now this is probably where I should have tested more and then threw it over. So this is time where we kind of expanded it. Same date, 5-3, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe not. Let's just revert back to our old setting so we can kind of like get back to baseline here. So far today, we're up to 57 on a smaller account, trading probably 50 bucks at a time, and this is probably when it pumped up. We lost one, and I'm kind of I still want to participate in those trends, but it feels like it's kind of hard to get to it. So we'll kind of stick to our strengths for now. Let this gain. There's no point in really messing things up when you don't have to, right? I feel like we just get bored, right? It's like this puzzle we want to fix, but it just works right now. Just let it be. Let it take profit when it needs to take profit. There's huge potential for it to gain, as long as it's in our side. Okay, don't be what's it called, anxious to jump in when it's not trading. Yes, there's huge gains, but yes, there's also huge losses too as it goes against you. Okay. Now I'm starting to see something here. Last night I saw this pattern, and I'm going to be testing on the small account. So here's a strategy for the next one that I'm going to be testing on to see if I can kind of get this to work. Okay, so let's go over here. Inverse perpetual. Oh look, maybe. Oh no, it's going against me. Okay, well, we'll see. It's deciding. Alright, anyway, so I've noticed here that, yeah, I mean, I don't want to trade this area. Before we could trade these little tiny areas perfectly fine and reach our goal early in the morning. But once we get to here, it's kind of the same thing, but in a bigger time frame. So you definitely have to deleverage to be able to handle a maybe a $800 swing. If we entered here, we should be able to survive up to about $500 swing on either end. Okay, as long as it stays sideways, right? As soon as it breaks out, then we're gonna have to take that loss and let it go. Okay. So, in a sense, if we can then we normally look back about a day. Based on this, these tops and bottoms here, usually about 2 to 3 days. So even if we looked at yesterday, and we look back a day, it's gonna think its top is probably right here. So when it breaks out, we're gonna have to take that loss. Now, if we can handle that swing of the previous 2 days, we might be able to survive that. Okay, and even back here, we might be able to survive. We might even be able to survive this drop down here, just because we can look back 1 to 2 days and be able to put that stop below here, handle it, let it return back, and then take these bigger gains sideways and just kind of hang out. Okay, so I'm starting to see that this is also sideways, but a higher volatile sideways. So we need to handle deleverage, handle a bigger range. We can still, and also the high low no trade zone needs to handle about 2 days of that zone. Okay, so that we can still stay in this channel, keep the stops far out. Okay, is it gonna break out soon? I don't know. We don't know. If it does, we'll have to take that loss, and it's probably a bigger loss maybe, or we could deleverage enough so that we can still stay in this channel here and be safe. Okay, so that way we can stay in the game, play a little farther. We'll see what these settings are once I figure that out. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking right now. Alright, thanks for watching. You want to get access to Leverage Trap a lot, and our goal is consistency here. We don't want these big one-off gains like from these giant pumps. We want consistency. We're not looking to trade this, which happens like once every so often, right? We don't know when they're gonna happen, and that's not what we're here for. We're waiting for these guys. See, every day we get to trade a little something here. Every day we get to eat. All right. Here is kind of feast or famine. Waiting for these pumps to happen, and also, if you're on the wrong side, guess what? You're gonna be losing, right? So, but every day there's always food. There's little quarters here and there to pick up, that feed the kids, pay the bills. It's all here. Consistency. Okay, it's consistently sideways, which is what we like. All right, and that's kind of what this market is. It's kind of just pumps up once, dumps it down once, and majority of the time, guess what? It's sideways, sideways, sideways. So now this is just an interesting platform time now that it's a little more volatile sideways. So we're gonna be able to figure out how to handle that. So new lesson, market's teaching us something new. Let's figure it out, and then let's take advantage of this more volatile sideways for more gains, hopefully.